The Mario Kart 8 booster pass has come and gone in all of its waves. We now have an additional 48 courses to play with on top of the 48 that we already had. With that in mind, I thought it would be nice to make a tier list for all 48 courses to see where each course stands and get an idea of how this booster course pass stacks overall to the base game. Keep in mind, I will be looking at these courses in the context of their latest version with the latest patch and updates, as I know some courses were not that great when they first launched. Without further ado, we have Paris Promenade. I honestly cannot stand Mario Kart Tour courses, but I appreciate this one for its incorporation of the Eiffel Tower and the change in the final lap. Aside, it does feel fairly bland and not all that exciting. I'm giving it C tier. We now have Toad Circuit for Mario Kart 7. There is not too much to be said here. Circuit courses in Mario Kart tend to be the least interesting and least creative courses, and this one is no exception. It's nice how at one point the course intersects, and in that same point you have an option to glide over the intersection point or use a speed boost, but other than that there isn't much else for me to say here. This goes to D tier. Looking at Choco Mountain from the Mario Kart 64, I don't think it's all that bad. Keep in mind I have no idea how it holds up to the original, as I haven't ever played much Mario Kart 64. Oddly enough, it has a similar layout to Toad Circuit, but manages to be more interesting with its aesthetic and set pieces such as the broken bridge and boulders that come down on you. I'm giving this one a C tier. Next for the tier list is Coconut Mall. Now initially this course wasn't too faithful to the original in Mario Kart Wii, such as the lack of moving cars towards the end of every lap. Thankfully Nintendo did update and fix that, and that is how I will be looking at this course. Simply put, this course was a banger back then and is a banger now with a unique design, concept, and routes. For sure an A tier course for me. Our next course is Tokyo Blur. The biggest thing I pay attention to in any tour course is how the notable landmarks of the city country it references is used in the course. With that in mind, I'm a bit disappointed that Mount Fuji is in the background and not in the course itself. I understand that Mount Fuji is not within Tokyo itself, but this is a Mario Kart game we are talking about. They don't need to be super accurate with the landmarks in these courses, and could have put it in the course anyways. Nonetheless, the first lap of this course is way too short and simple, and the other two laps get better by changing the route up and incorporate some thwomps and a few shortcuts. In a sense, it almost feels like a circuit course, and I've already established what I feel for those. Luckily, I do have bias in favor in Japan, so C tier. Next up is Shroom Ridge from Mario Kart DS. I always appreciate courses that have a highway concept to them, as the cars provide a good natural obstacle in the course. It is faithful to the original course with updated graphics, but aside from a shortcut or two and the cars serving as obstacles, there isn't much else here. This is a D tier for me. When I look at Sky Gardens from Mario Kart Super Circuit, I can't help but view it as a poor man's Cloud Top Cruise. I appreciate the sky aesthetic it shares with the Cloud Top Cruise, but the layout and obstacles just don't match up at all. It does, however, have a couple of nice shortcuts, and I'd still take it over something bland like a circuit-based course, so this one is a B tier for me. Here we have Ninja Hideaway. I was so impressed when I first saw this course, and it is absolutely one of my favorites. There is no other course like it in the entire Mario Kart series when you consider the unique ninja theme and all the different paths and shortcuts make it a very exciting course to play through. Each lap can be different, keeping you from ever getting bored of this one. I enjoyed seeing how they did the theme with getting to drive through all the rooftops, the feudal Japanese structures, and the Shoryukens. Ninja Hideaway embodies everything that an excellent course in Mario Kart should be, so this easily has a spot in the S tier. Next up we have New York Minute. It has the typical things that I don't like about Mario Kart Tour courses, but at least it incorporates Central Park in a nice way. It also does a decent job of passing off as a course similar to something like Moonview Highway with its aesthetic and all the cars that serve as obstacles. I'm gonna put this one on the C tier. Mario Circuit 3 is one of the few SNES courses we get in this booster pass, and honestly I can appreciate it for what it is. It's a good graphical update to the original, but it is nonetheless a bland circuit course with not a whole lot to offer. They could have at least added some anti-gravity segments in it or something to make it more interesting. I do, however, appreciate the 16-bit style it has, which I've always liked. This one belongs in the C tier for me. When we talk about retro courses done right, Calamari Desert is a textbook example of that. It is faithful to the original in design and captures that same unique aesthetic, but this time around we get to go inside of the tunnel starting in the second lap. I really appreciate the change as it gives people new to this course a unique course to race in unlike anything else, and gives old fans a new take on a great classic. That's what Mario Kart is all about, a game that everyone can enjoy. This is without a doubt an S tier course. Next we look at Waluigi Pinball for Mario Kart DS. Has never been and likely never will be another course like this since its debut on the DS. I am grateful that this made it to the final cut in the booster course pass, although it has not changed much in this iteration in terms of incorporating Mario Kart 8 elements to it. I can however let that go since the course is already so great as is and is a joy to race on from start to finish. Automatic A tier for this one. I really appreciate how Sydney Sprint incorporates the Sydney Opera House into the course itself. It also has a pretty good overall look to it visually, and the overall layout is nice as well. It isn't a typical loop you see in a lot of courses, but also isn't all over the place either. I see it as one of the better Mario Kart Tour courses for sure. I'd put this one on the B tier. Mario Kart 8 already has quite a few snow or ice themed courses as is. In spite of that, I still find Snowland for Mario Kart Super Circuit a welcome addition. The slippery course along with the penguins keep things interesting, and as mentioned before, I am an absolute sucker for the 16-bit aesthetic. It could have been better if they would have added anti-gravity or something else to it as well, but I will take what we get here. I'd like to put this one on the B tier. Similar to Coconut Mall, Mushroom Gorge is yet another certified banger, and that to another classic that originated in Mario Kart Wii. I know this course like the back of my hand, and honestly I can appreciate the slight change they made with adding the blue mushroom that lets you glide when you get in the cave area. It's already such a great course as is, and it comes as no surprise to me that they only made a small change to it for this iteration, as nothing else was really necessary. This is for sure an S tier course for me. When Sky High Sunday was initially announced with Wave 2, I was very excited to give it a go, and then I actually played it and couldn't help but feel disappointed. Similar to Ninja Hideaway, it is a brand new never before seen course, but clearly does not match up to the quality of Ninja Hideaway. The theme is not all that unique considering Sweet Sweet Canyon is already in this game. Each lap is going to have the same path more or less with hardly any shortcuts at all. It just feels like a glorified ice cream themed loop, as it is exactly that. Sadly, I'm placing this one on the D tier. Another tour course that got added into this booster pass is London Loop. This one blends in and comes off as quite similar to Paris Promenade, but the key downside to this one is a lack of Big Ben incorporated into the course itself. Automatic D tier for me. Similar to Snowland, Boo Lake is another Mario Kart Super Circuits course that got added into this booster pass. As short as this course is, I appreciate the modern uplift it got for this iteration, the shortcuts and the overall Boo theme to it. It can be compared to other Boo or Haunted themed courses we have in Mario Kart 8 already, but I feel this course does a good job of distinguishing itself. This course is a certified B tier course. We next have Rock Mountain for Mario Kart 7. This is another course that was already a solid course as is, but I really appreciate that Nintendo went the extra mile and made the section towards the end of the lap where you go up the mountain an anti-gravity section. That really wins extra points for me and makes it a solid addition into Mario Kart 8. This course earned its place in the A tier for me. In the making of this tier list, I've noticed that Mario Kart Wii got a lot of love in this booster course pass, and it becomes more evident with Maple Tree Way. We all know about the unique theme of this course, the wigglers, the aesthetics, and the alternate pathways offered in this course. But I've always appreciated this course for the soundtrack. I don't know if there's any other course in the history of Mario Kart that has had more fitting music for its corresponding course. They really didn't change much between the original and this iteration, not even in adding an anti-gravity section, and there are clearly some sections in this course where they could have had it. It doesn't matter either way, as this course is just so great as is and is easily an S tier. Berlin Byways blends into Paris Promenade and London Loop quite a bit and further exemplifies just how we got way too many Mario Kart Tour courses in this booster course pass. It's really hard for me to distinguish this one from the aforementioned courses, so I'm putting this one in D tier without any hesitation. I always appreciate retro courses that are given a new life and have a cool new idea put into them. Similar to Calamari Desert, Peach Gardens is a lot like that, where it got a good graphical update and has a unique theme and aesthetic to it, but for the last lap, the course changes completely. In the last lap, we go the exact opposite way, which really switches things up this time around. I feel this course has a solid spot on the A tier. Next up is a course that I think is very interesting because although Merry Mountain is snow-based like a lot of courses, it is still very distinguished with this Christmas theme. As much as I like the theme, I can't help but notice the lack of Santa Claus Easter egg, or at the very least some reindeer. Aside from some minor complaints, I like the elevation we get throughout each lap, only for it to all come down towards the end of each lap. This is a solid B tier course. The Rainbow Road we get in the base game for Mario Kart 8 was an absolute disappointment. This becomes even more apparent when we look at Mario Kart 7's Rainbow Road, which was a very welcome addition to this booster course pass. Racing on the Moon, on Saturn's Ring, and how the course is a lengthy one with no repeated laps just solidifies it as the best Rainbow Road in the entire series. It would be a disgrace not to put this one on the S tier. Now we talk about the last of what I call the Fatal 4 Mario Kart Tour courses, with this one being Amsterdam Drift. I understand that between this course and Paris Promenade, London Loop, and Berlin Byways, they are similar because they are all based on European cities. That is all the more reason Nintendo should not put this in the booster course pass. Without a doubt, I place this course on the D tier. Riverside Park is yet another course from Mario Kart Super Circuit that I feel is a welcome addition to the booster course pass. Similar to Boo Lake, it has a unique style to it and is interesting to race through, albeit being too short. Also, I really like the walking piranha plants with how they are either holding up a banana peel or a mushroom. Makes for a really unique mechanic. I'd put this one on the B tier. Next we take a look at DK Summit from Mario Kart Wii. Mario Kart Wii was well known for adding ledges that you could jump off of from each side of the course, and that would give you a speed boost whenever you came down, and DK Summit, I believe, is the one that used it the most, as it is very prominent here. I've always liked how there is very little room to breathe in this course, with all the various things thrown at you the entirety of each lap, making it a fun one for sure. It has a solid spot on the A tier for me. We've gotten courses based on other video games from Nintendo before, but sadly Yoshi's Island is really the only course we get in the booster course pass that is based on another game. That being said, it absolutely embraces the themes and art style of the game along with the music and soundtrack. Also, I can't talk about this course without talking about the question mark cloud towards the end of the course, where if you hit it, it forms a bridge. That's just way too cool, and I always try to hit it every lap. Just because of how unique and fun it is, it easily earns a spot on the S tier. It is no secret that I do not like tour courses, but even then I can appreciate Bangkok Rush for being a good Mario Kart tour course. It's a unique course based on a famous city in Thailand, and as a result looks and feels unique. Each lap is different and a bunch of different things are thrown at you throughout the course, so it's a good course, for Mario Kart Tour that is. I place this one on the B tier. It is also no secret that I don't exactly like circuit courses either, but Mario Kart Circuit for Mario Kart DS is for sure one of the better ones. At a glance it looks like any other circuit course until you notice the Goombas serving as obstacles in your way, piranha plants spitting fire at you, and the brief drive into the deep forest that makes you realize this is more than just any circuit course. Because of how much effort was put into making this course feel unique in spite of the limitation of it being a circuit course, I feel it earns a spot on the B tier. I'm aware that for many, Waluigi Stadium for Mario Kart Double Dash is a fan favorite. The problem with it, however, is that we already have the very similar Wario Stadium in Mario Kart 8 already as a base course. That, however, does not take anything away from how many different obstacles and how dynamic Waluigi Stadium is, especially when the booster course pass has its fair share of bland courses. It deserves its spot on the B tier. It is very clear that as we get more waves in the booster course pass that Nintendo took notes and listened to fans to some extent. I say this because of what we got from Mario Kart Tour courses. Singapore Speedway is one of my favorites, especially with how it incorporates the infinity pool and how vibrant, colorful, and dynamic the course is through the entire race. I truly appreciate this course for what it is as it enters the B tier. Although being based on yet another European city, Athens Dash manages to stand out from other Mario Kart Tour courses that are also based in Europe. I couldn't imagine that being all too difficult, as Greece is known for its unique architecture with the Parthenon and other such structures. It really helps with the visuals for the course, and we also get quite a bit of elevation throughout each unique lap as well. I'm putting this one on the B tier. As we come along with this tier list, it is evident how much I value unique themes, and Daisy Cruiser from Mario Kart Double Dash is no exception. The loop fits so well with the design of the course. I always appreciate how the layout and laps you go through make it feel like you're getting a tour of the entire cruise as a potential customer, along with its fair share of obstacles and just the overall dynamicness. A solid A tier course for sure. When I used to play Moonview Highway, I really liked the highway theme with all the cars as obstacles and the bomb cars as well. It's a bit tough to appreciate this course though when you consider we already have Toad's Turnpike in the base game for Mario Kart 8. I gotta give credit where credit is due though. I really like the generous speed boost through the course and how it can be challenging relative to other courses in the game. I'm putting this one in the C tier. If someone would have told me that we would be getting a bathroom themed course for the booster course pass, I would have told them they're crazy. Oddly enough though, that is what we got with Squeaky Clean Sprint. I like the course for what it is, even though I feel like they could have done so much more, but I will take what we can get here. We go through the sink, into the bathtub, and down the drain, and only hover over the toilet. It would have been funny if we would get flushed down the toilet as part of the race. I see that as a major missed opportunity. Overall, I see it as an A tier course. We now take a look at Los Angeles laps from Mario Kart Tour. This course does a good job in my opinion of feeling distinct from the other courses that are from Mario Kart Tour. I like how faithful it is to how the world views LA, and each lap is different from the last, resulting in one giant loop. There are for sure better Mario Kart Tour courses than this one, though I'd put Los Angeles laps in the C tier. Next up is Sunset Wild from Mario Kart Super Circuit. What's not to like about this course? Between the tight turns, the slippery oil areas, and the adorable Shy Guys with their picks and shovels dancing around, this course has so much of a vibe and atmosphere of its own, and there is nothing like it in the rest of the game. The big gripe here though is that at no point throughout the laps and the course as a whole does the sun ever actually set, whereas in the original it does. It is still nonetheless a solid course that belongs in the B tier. Mario Kart Wii had a lot of courses that were absolute bangers, and this booster course pass makes it very evident with the selection of Mario Kart Wii courses we get here. Koopa Cape is yet another one of those banger Mario Kart Wii courses. I appreciate that they kept it mostly the same, as there isn't much to improve here except one slight change where the underwater tunnel is now anti-gravity. That was a clear no-brainer and puts this course in the A tier. For the Cherry Cup in the Booster Course Pass, we actually get two courses from Mario Kart Tour, with this next one being Vancouver Velocity. I like how unique it is compared to other tour courses, along with how the Capilano suspension bridge gets incorporated into the course. It's not too bad for a Mario Kart Tour course, and I see it belonging on the B tier. We are now at the last two cups and final wave of courses offered in the Booster Course Pass, and I'm pleased to say that Nintendo for the most part did their best here. When I play through Rome Avanti, I honestly forget that I am playing on a Mario Kart Tour course, which is very much a good thing given my obvious disdain for Mario Kart Tour courses. I like the unique look and feel of it compared to other tour courses, and honestly I just love Rome. Easily an A tier course. DK Mountain from Mario Kart Double Dash shares a lot of similarities to DK Summit from Mario Kart Wii. They both have the same structure where you race up a mountain to then get launched to at the peak. Once at the peak, you race all the way down to finish the lap. It is a good layout, and I also really like the sharp turns towards the end of each lap. However, I've never liked how the volcano never serves as anything more than just a background set piece. This was a perfect opportunity for the volcano to erupt on the final lap, resulting in lava pitfalls or something to make the last lap more difficult. Either way, it's a solid B tier course. For all the bangers we get from Mario Kart Wii, Daisy Circuit is definitely not one of them. My disdain for circuits courses all throughout the Mario Kart series is very obvious at this point, but I will at least say that Daisy Circuit is one of the better courses, even though this iteration is just like the original. Similar to Mario Circuit from Mario Kart DS, it pushes the limit as to what a circuit course can be at its best, and I appreciate that. I'm putting this one on the C tier. Piranha Plant Cove is the last brand new course we get as a part of this booster course pass, and I am pleased to say that it is one of the best courses we get in the entire booster course pass. It has plenty of obstacles, a unique theme and design. The layout of the course makes each lap different, but it's not too crazy, and it's an overall blast to race through. Piranha Plant Cove is a textbook example of how new courses should be done in Mario Kart and is a certified S tier course. Similar to Rome Avanti, Madrid Drive serves as one of the best Mario Kart Tour courses we get in the booster course pass and is also the last Mario Kart Tour course we get. It does a good job of being interesting from start to finish, and I often forget that it is a tour course whenever I race through. As a result, I'd place this one on the A tier. Rosalina's Ice World is one of the best courses to ever launch on Mario Kart 7, and I am grateful that it made it to the final cut out of all the options we had for Mario Kart 7 courses being put onto the booster course pass. There is so much to like here from start to finish, between the Mario Galaxy Easter egg, the way the frozen lake breaks up, the underwater portion, and the speed boost towards the end. I never get bored of this one, and it would be a dishonor not to put it on the S tier. Including a Bowser Castle course into the booster course pass was an absolute necessity, as there is not a single Bowser Castle course in the entirety of Mario Kart 8 except for the one that originated in this game. With that in mind, I am very grateful we got Bowser Castle 3 from Super Mario Kart. Similar to other good Super Mario Kart courses, it is short but exciting from start to finish. A solid A tier course. It is fitting that the final course we get in the booster course pass be a Rainbow Road course. Rainbow Road from Mario Kart Wii may not be the best Rainbow Road course, but it is a solid one nonetheless, and is easily better than the one that originated in Mario Kart 8. I appreciate the animation of your character falling off the course and just how faithful the course is to the original, as there is not much needed to change here. I'd put this one on the A tier. In total, we have 6 D tier courses, 8 C tier courses, 14 B tier courses, 12 A tier courses, and 8 S tier courses. Overall, I'd say that the mix of courses we got in the booster course pass is good, but could have been excellent. Either way, I will take what we get here and will play these courses for years to come until the next Mario Kart game, and I am grateful for this overall. Let me know what you think about the tier list and what courses you like or don't like in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much.